Hey guys, it's Caleb with the JcrOffroad Garage. Today I'm going to show you how to install our JK Adventure Carrier. Let's get started. So if you already have your bumper installed, no worries, you can do this while the bumper is on the Jeep or off. We're just showing you while it's off to make it easier so you can see exactly what's going on here. To install the spindle kit, you're going to put the female end down. Usually, you're going to have to take some sandpaper and just clean out the surface first. Next, you're going to install the grade 8 3/4 inch bolt in the washer. You can tighten that down with a 1 1/8 inch socket. First, we're going to start with taking the rubber bushing. Go ahead and push this through the bracket we provide. A little bit of grease helps with that, so it slides right in. That is going to mount right here so it stops the tire carrier. Those just mount with 2 1/4 inch button head bolts with a flange nut on the back. So after that, we're going to take the stop pin, you're going to drop that into the closest hole out towards the high lift jack mount hole, and go ahead and bolt that down from the bottom as well. Alright, so before you install your carrier, you want to go ahead and install the Crusader track. The holes line up right there, and you're going to drop the bolts in, countersink at the top. And then just tighten it from the bottom. So next we're going to pack the bearings. You can use any multi-purpose grease, but it's going to take quite a glob. Just kind of put in some gloves. Recommend gloves on this one. It'll make a mess everywhere. What you're going to do is just take the bearing, you're going to pack and roll until the grease starts pushing through both sides of the bearings. And if you're like me, you're going to make a mess. I would recommend a couple pair of gloves. So once you get your bearings packed, you're going to take your seal. You just use a little bit of grease on the inside edge of the seal as well. That way everything just kind of tightens down smoothly. On your adventure carrier, the pin's already going to be installed, but we recommend unscrewing it, dropping it out, and just using a little bit of grease just to make sure that everything runs smoothly for years to come. Just a little bit of grease on it, don't drop it, and tighten it right back in. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and install the bearings. So you can take one of the bearings, taper it end down, and drop it in, make sure it's snug up against the race, and then using the seal, metal side going down as well. The seal's a little bit tricky to get seated in, but what we use is a Dana 60 hub socket, and it works perfect every single time. Alright, so after that bottom bearing is set in, we're just going to lift up the carrier and set it over top of the spindle. You're going to have to wiggle it around a little bit until you find the sweet spot and it drops down. And that's it. Then we're going to take our second bearing, tapered side down, drop that into place, make sure it's snug in the bottom. Alright, and after that top bearing is seated, you're going to take a washer, slide that in, and then your top nut. You're going to tighten this down using a 1 1/2 inch size socket. That's 65. So from there we're going to put a little bit of grease onto the spindle cap. Go ahead and throw that one in there too. And then using the wrench we provide, go ahead and tighten that down. Alright, so next we're going to install the latch to the carrier. The easiest way to do this is to go ahead and make sure it's closed in, and I'll show you how to install it on the carrier now. We're going to install the latch by starting with the handle facing towards the Jeep. Come in, drop it down. Then we're going to grab 1 1/4 inch button head bolt and then the handle itself. And this is going to take a little bit of finesse. You're going to put the bolt in from the back, kind of holding it up in the air. Go ahead and twist that handle on. We're going to tighten it down with a 5/32 Allen head. And before you close the latch, don't forget about your isolator block. This is just going to run through with those same 1/4 inch button head bolts through the bottom. And into the latch itself. You've got 2 more button head bolts that you're going to put in on these outside. Alright, so next we're going to assemble the tire mount itself. And this one can drop right in. And then using the 3 carriage bolts, we've got 3 spots here and 3 flange nuts that will go right on top. Alright, let's grab the tire. Alright, so next we're going to measure the tire. This tire is right at 36 inches wide. So we're going to go a little bit more than half of that. Half's 18, so we'll bump it up to 19 just to be safe so it doesn't sit completely on the bumper. And then the next step, we're going to set the back space. That is 7 inches, but we're going to go ahead and snug that in a little bit, probably right around a ½ inch closer towards the Jeep. That way the tire is snug up against the carrier. Alright, so if you've also got our Rotopax mount and our high lift jack mount, we'll go ahead and install those as well. So this is the Rotopax mount. There are 2 holes at the top of the tire carrier. I'm going to sink a 3/8 inch button head bolt right in. Got a flange nut on the back to tighten it down. We snug these the rest of the way down with a 7/32 Allen head. Alright, so we're going to take the actual Rotopax mount, and with the handle facing the inside of the Jeep, just go ahead and bolt it on. Alright, next step, put on the Rotopax. If you also bought the high lift jack mount, that'll go right on top and bolt down using 3 3/8 inch button head bolts. Bolts for the high lift jack will go through the back, put in this little washer, the lock washer on. So the easiest way to get this lock washer on is we've got a 16mm deep well socket and an extension. And just press it in. And once you have everything on, we can go put the tire back on. And that's it. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or drop us an email at info@JcrOffroad.com.